What's going on, guys? I am Toxic Jordan. Welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be taking down the 10th stage of the Vegeta Story Red Zone here against the Super Saiyan Blue Goku. We're going to be doing the time limit mission this time around. This is the team build that we've got. Lots of 10th anniversary power here. We are bringing a Whis just in case, because I know that this stage is very, very problematic, and we actually only have 2 attempts left for the day, because I was attempting the GT Heroes mission already before this, but with that one out of the way, we've only got 2 attempts left, and there are 2 more missions for me to clear, so I'm going to play this as safe as possible, and then obviously the best possible outcome would be I would be able to do both of them today. But, you know, worst case scenario, we'll just have to wait till tomorrow to come back, and I'll have to play a different stage instead. Okay, so for now... Wow, that's a lot of attacks at the end there. Interesting. Okay, so we know this guy's stats are going to build up over time. He's not super scary on turn 1, but we do just have to be really careful about our slot 1 units, because he is going to be doing slot 1 supers often. Just because his super attack cooldown is only 1, he can super twice per turn, and his percentage to super attack is 40. So yeah, as you can see, it's pretty common to see him just super attack right away. So we got to be really, really cognizant about who we're putting in slot 1. Obviously, having the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks is really big for us here. You can see we do have quite a bit of tech power on this team, because we are dealing with a one-phase fight against an AGL enemy, so I think it makes the most sense for us to prioritize a lot of tech units here. Okay, so far so good. I think we're in business. We're definitely not going to be struggling too hard here. Especially, we do have 2 Vegetos. We have quite a few different like transformations and stuff that's going to be able to help us out a little bit later in the fight. But the main thing that I'm excited about is 2 Vegetos. That's going to be 2 turns of you know, like guaranteed survival, where the entire team is going to be protected from his target skill mechanic, and then also we're going to be doing a ton of damage with all of his counterattacks and stuff, right? So I do want to prioritize building up the Vegeto's attacks as much as possible, so we'll probably try and keep them, shy them away from being tag switched into the Vegeto side, or to the Vegeta side of things, where they'll be raising their defense. I think I'd much rather just keep them in their offensive builds here. And then, yeah, we'll see how that ends up working out for us. And then obviously we have the transformation that's going to come for these guys a little bit later, which is going to give them a ton of extra damage reduction and stuff. So they'll be nice and tanky as well, as providing probably a lot of damage here too. Nice to see everybody above the damage cap. There is actually a damage cap. I don't know exactly what it is. I think it's something like 5. It's something between 5 and 10 million, but I don't know exactly what it is. When we were taking this on with the GT Heroes build, a lot of our units, especially early on before they stacked up, were just hitting for 0, so... lucky to see that that's not the case here. Okay, so we will prioritize these 2 on rotation. I think is probably going to be the best way to go. Yeah. We know he's safe for slot 1 because he's got the 77% damage reduction in there right now. I guess we'll grab these orbs, and then we can get all these AGLs on the side. Sure, that'll work. Okay, there we go. So we have some quite good turns here up front. They should probably tank this for double digits. That's almost guaranteed. Let's see. Close. Okay. Yeah, just because they haven't stacked up at all yet. Their defense is still decently low, even with the 77% damage reduction there, right? And then we're looking pretty good, because on the next turn, we're going to have the LR Gods. I think I might want to actually rotate off the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. I'm not 100% sure about that yet, because he will be one of those units that's just safe in slot 1 for the entirety of the fight, so it kind of might be nice to just leave him there and forget about him. But the thing is, we have 5 other units that are infinitely stacking, and Gotenks is not one of them. So prioritizing him as a slot 1 unit isn't going to service us for later on in the fight, right? So because of that, I might honestly opt to rotate him off for now. Yeah, that's probably going to be a thing that needs to happen at some point. And no time like this very next turn where we have the LR gods that are going to be showing up for the first time. So they'll have their 77% damage reduction, and they can easily go slot 1 as well. So yeah, I'll probably just rotate Gotenks off and then keep the gods on with the tech Super Saiyan Goku. Okay, so we're looking somewhat decent on the amount of damage that we're doing here. I have a somewhat of a decent gauge based on the GT Heroes mission, because for the GT Heroes mission that I did, my leader for the team was the Tech Vegito, and then I just did 5 GT Heroes characters on that team. So basically what I'm saying is I've already seen what Tech Vegito is capable of in this fight, and what the transformed LR Super Saiyan 4s are like in the fight, which kind of gives me a comparable idea of what the transformed LR gods are going to look like, because I do use them alongside each other a lot, so I can kind of get an idea. And I think with the pace of damage that we're doing right now, we're going to be all right. I did also bring a Whis with me, so we do have that as potential for like 4 turns of extra protection if needed. Ideally, because this team is so much stronger than the GT Heroes build, I would like to try to beat this with no items, but if it doesn't end up happening, that's not going to be the worst deal in the world. We'll go ahead and save that Gotenks active skill for a little bit later. We don't really need it yet. He's not even fully built up yet, and obviously that's going to be something that helps us out defensively. So yeah, we'll save that for now. We'll just pocket that for the moment. Man, dude, the orbs hurt so bad. Okay. What do we got next turn? Let's see. Oh, we have a Rainbow Orb Changer coming up next turn. That's going to be helpful, too. Okay, we'll do this at least. I think our orbs are set up pretty solidly for next turn, actually. Shouldn't be too bad for us. Because we have all the physical orbs at the bottom row that we can get with the Super Saiyan 4s. And then there was, if we did select those, we were going to have a rainbow into 2 tech orbs above it on the left side that one of the other units could select as well. And that's without the rainbow orb changing that we're about to see happen. So yeah, we should be in a good spot starting on this next turn. I guess the big question for next turn is going to be who goes slot 1. Because we don't yet have any of our transformations or tag switches available. But we still got to have somebody slot 1, right? And I, again, have some lingering information from the previous fight. So I happen to know that on turn 3, with the 77% damage reduction gone, and only 1 turn of stacks from the LR Super Saiyan 4s, they will get hit for about 400k on the super attack in slot 1, if there is a slot 1 super. So I don't know that it would be the best idea to put them in slot 1. Though 400k isn't like a death, right? Obviously, two super attacks in a row would probably be a death in slot 1. But we'd have to get pretty unlucky for that to happen. So yeah, let's see what the enemy attack placement looks like and stuff. And then I suppose it's also possible we could put the tech Goku, Angel Goku, and Vegeta in slot 1 on the next turn here. Because they do have some damage reduction, right? Yeah, they have 40% damage reduction. So we'll see what their defense looks like, but they also get stats when attacking and stuff. Yeah, and then, yeah, they get a lot of stats when attacking because of the great raises of their defense, but on their super attack effect, plus the 50% stats from their passive on attack. So yeah, their defense is, I assume, going to look quite low at the beginning of the turn here. Oh, well, there's no slot 1 supers. Okay, so we're perfectly fine. That's actually a huge stroke of luck for us. Okay, so now we have a couple of decisions to make. Whether, you know, playing around with doing the transformations now or waiting. So I think most likely the way I want to run the rotation is like, well, they have more links together, but I think I'm still just going to do this. Because obviously he gets the extra super attack in slot 2 or 3, so I would rather put him there. So yeah, we'll do this. So we can still prioritize our units that need to stack and build up and keep them on rotation. And then... So yeah, I guess it's a matter of, we probably don't want to transform with the LR Super Saiyan 4s. We want to let them continue to stack for now, since there's no reason we need to transform yet, right? And then with the Angel, Super Saiyan Goku, and Vegeta, or the Angel, Goku, and Vegeta, let's see, because I know they have some stuff that rolls off of their kit after a little while. For 5 turns, they're going to have the extra 40% damage reduction. Yeah, they don't need it yet. He's not even fully built up, because this guy doesn't fully built up until after, like, turn 5. So, and by that I mean the enemy is not fully built up. So yeah, I think we'll probably not transform him yet. I'm just trying to gauge, because the other thing is if we transform him now, we're going to get more damage for this turn. Does he have an active skill as well? He doesn't. Yeah, so there's no other active skill or anything to get post-transformation. You know what? Why not? Let's go ahead and transform him now. I don't really see any reason why not. We might as well do it. Because obviously, just, you know, we're going to be getting that extra damage reduction, which is helpful. Oh, huge. Huge. Both of the super attacks actually are launching in slot 3, so it's huge that we transformed him, because now he's going to be able to tank those, right? With the 80% damage reduction, he is for sure going to be fine against those, and then now we know we can rest easy with the first 2 slots here, and not have to worry about the damage we would take from attacks, potentially. Okay. Very good, very good. Yeah, that was a wise decision. And then again, you know, I suppose we do always have the option to do some scouter fishing, because we have all these transformations that are going to be providing scouters for us. So we could have just transformed there to see where the super attacks were to help us get a better informed decision of what to do for the turn, and then reset the app, de-transform, and then set up our rotation how we want based on where we know the super attacks are at. But it seems like the right answer, because of where the super attacks are, is to keep him transformed, right? If both the super attacks were in slot 1, and we knew that, you know, we're just going to be able to tank them with the Super Saiyan 4s, then I'd be like, yeah, maybe it would be better to keep him untransformed, and we can just save the, you know, limited 80% damage reduction for later. But as of now, it looks like we definitely needed it, so I'm fine with things how they are. Okay, we're in a pretty good position right now. Starting on the next turn, we're going to have some more transformations available. So again, we'll have to go with the strat of, like, deciding which transformations are worth to do, or if we should continue stacking with some of these units. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Like, I feel like, honestly, the best possible outcome to get us the W in the fight would be to use a Whis next turn, and then not transform with anybody. Because in that case, with a Whis active, I'm pretty sure that we could tank supers with the LR Gods and with the Tech Vegito. Yeah, so that would probably be the strongest strat. And then again, with the Whis active, we could do the same thing again on this following rotation when we come back around to this rotation on the second turn of the Whis, and again, not transform, and give ourselves another turn of buildup. And then that would mean that all of the units that need to stack are stacked so highly that after that 2 turns of Whis, we could start transforming everyone, and we would be, like, destroying the enemy, and then he would go down like butter, right? So that is probably the most effective way to run it. However, I don't know that I want to use an item. I think I would rather get the no item run if we can, because this team is, like, handling this stuff, right? We are kind of very easily handling stuff right now. Okay, both the super attacks are in slot 1. So the LR Gods are going to have to take care of that for us. With their current numbers, they will die from these super attacks, because his super attack does 1.3 million, and that's before the 80% raise that he gets on super attack effect, and that was in base before the 5 turns of buildup. So he's now at, like, 80% higher stats on top of all of that, just in base. So yeah, they would die. So we definitely need to transform with them. So I guess abandoning the Whis strategy that I was just talking about, we'll go ahead and get them transformed, and then now they should be perfectly fine. Oh, they can't dodge. Wait. Dodge cancel is a thing. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I need to pull up their kit really quick. I was going to pull it up on the wiki, but I guess we can just look in game since we're at that point anyway. So as far as that slot 1 super, they are guarding all attacks, but they already have type advantage, so that's not going to mean that much. And then that's it. Because they don't have any damage reduction. Everything else in their kit is based around dodging, and they can't dodge. Oh, wait. No. It's the first turn after transforming, so they have 77% damage reduction. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. Yeah, I was considering, like, oh shit, do we need to use a Whis anyway? But with that extra damage reduction, they're definitely going to be able to tank. So, we'll be good there. Alright, I guess we'll grab all these. We get 4 rainbow orbs in there for them, which is just good for the extra crit chance. Obviously, it does nothing for their dodge chance at this point. And then, yeah, we just continue to stack with the other units, I guess. Sure. Grab those. And then we'll get these for the Gogeta. Okay, so definitely a free turn of double-digit tanking coming in here. And then on the next turn, it's again going to be a rotation where we could consider transforming. I guess, you know, one thing that was probably a really good idea about transforming with the Gogeta, I mean, aside from being able to survive that turn alone because of those slot 3 super attacks, the best part about it is that his Scouter is not like all of the other units on this team that have a Scouter where it's only active on their turn. That Scouter procs for 5 turns, and it's just always up. So that really did give us a big advantage going into these next couple of turns, which again, we did have the option to Scouter Fish. We could have just transformed into Vegito really quick to see where the super attacks were, but this saves us from having to do the app resets, right? So yeah, that is kind of nice. Okay, we're doing pretty well damage-wise, because obviously with the Vegito transformations themselves, we're going to do a lot of damage with that alone. As well as like the LR Super Saiyan 4s being transformed once we eventually get to that place. So we'll have to see. We had a matchup right now of the Vegito and Gogeta. Obviously, we want to make sure that one of our Vegito active skill turns, where we're doing all of that counterattack damage, is alongside the Gogeta transformation. That is going to be a very helpful thing for us. But because we're rotating him off now, we're going to know that we should probably wait on that for at least until he rotates around onto the other rotation. So yeah, that being considered, it would probably be the best idea to try not to transform, at least with the Tech Vegito on the next turn. But we're going to be able to see where the super attacks are at and stuff. And that's going to help us make a more informed decision here, right? Okay, so we're not double-digit tanking with him anymore, which is no surprise because we've done nothing to build up his defense. And then that initial defense that he gets from his entrance animation has rolled off at this point. Okay. So we have a slot 3 super to deal with. Let's see what our numbers are at. 1.4 million. Yeah. We have to transform now. Now is the time. So what we can do is we can transform with the Super Saiyan 4s. And then we can do this. So we'll put the Super Saiyan 4s in slot 1. That way they can tank that super. We can leave Vegito untransformed for one more turn here, where he'll be able to build up one more turn of stats stacking. And then we can use, I guess we might as well use Gotenks' active skill too. If we're going to rotate him off now, sure. Would have been a little stronger if we put him in slot 2, just because of having a bit more links active, but that's no big deal. It wasn't going to do that much anyway. Not too worried about it. Mainly, it's going to give us that extra defensive power for the turn, right? Which is really helpful for the amount of damage he may or may not take in a moment here. I think I want to grab these orbs. I guess that's nice, so we'll have the tech orbs coming up next. We do have a rainbow orb changer, 2 rainbow orb changers on the next rotation, so that's pretty good. Okay, and then because we know we're going to do the Vegito and Gogeta transformation on this rotation, when Gogeta comes back, that means that we're free to transform with the other Vegito whenever we want. So we might potentially do that on the next turn here. We'll see. I didn't actually pay attention to what turn we transformed. Oh, I think it was turn 4 itself was when we transformed with the Tech Gogeta, since he'll be coming back on turn 7 from being rotated off. Yeah. Okay. So then we have until... So it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So through turn 8, we'll have his 80% damage reduction active, and then the permanent Scouter up. Which obviously isn't going to make too much of a difference at that point anyway, because everybody else is going to have their Scouters active from all their transformations. So that won't really affect us, but we'll need to keep in mind that that extra damage reduction is going to fall off, making him not quite as strong. And probably way less liable to be able to tank in slot 1, which we're not going to need him there at that point anyway, again, because of all the other really strong transformations. But just something to keep in mind. Something to note so that we don't take an accidental silly death where it wasn't necessary. Oh! Oh! Oh my gosh, that's so much damage. Holy moly. Yeah, I guess not having them transformed really, really hurts, right? Wow, that's pretty scary. Okay, well, Gotenks is going to do his best here. He definitely should be able to double-digit tank for us, especially post-super attack, especially on the active skill turn. He's got so much defensive capability in his kit here. He's going to be perfectly fine. This should be a double-digit tank for sure. There we go. Awesome, awesome. Okay. So now we... Okay, we've got a couple more transformations here. So, let's go ahead and transform with the gods. Oh, they're already transformed. This is just their active skill because our HP is below 50%. So yeah, let's go ahead and launch that. Since they're not going to be stacking up anymore, no time like the present. Might as well get that off now. Perfect. That doesn't do quite as much damage as I would like to see it do, but not a big deal here. Okay, now here's the thing with the LR gods. They are depending on dodge to survive. We can't really have that, unfortunately. We're going to have to rotate them off here because they're not going to be able to tank a super in either slot. I mean, maybe it's possible that post-super, with enough stacks from their super attack effects, they would be able to tank this super in the second slot here, but I think I would rather not risk it, just because we have pure safety with the other two. And because our HP is so low, we definitely need to transform this guy into Vegito at this point. And that's going to give us our HP back, as well as allowing us to use the target skill mechanic. Oh, we have the target skill mechanic. So yeah, I guess with the target skill mechanic, we're not going to need to worry about where the placement of our attacks are, because we're just going to put them in slot 1, and then that'll be it. And since we know that their extra damage reduction is rolling off on turn 8, we can rotate them off. Because they'll probably be weaker defensively than the LR gods once that extra piece of their passive rolls off anyway. So yeah, this is probably the best way to go with things then. Alright, we'll get the 24 key there with them. Try and max out the rainbow orbs we can select here. Yep, 4 rainbow orbs, that'll work. And the same type orb selection as well to get us closer to that Dokkan attack. And then I think we'll do the same thing again. Get us closer to that Dokkan attack here with same type orbs. Perfect. Okay, yeah, we're looking in a really good position at this point. Because we're going to have the Vegito and Gogeta major massive turn coming up here next. We also have the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta that's going to be able to proc his active skill because the enemy will finally be below 50% HP. So yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of damage on this next turn. And then the turn following, we'll have Tech Gotenks back. So he'll be a safety net for us. And then we're still going to have this Vegito around. He won't be on his active skill turn doing the target skill protection, but he'll still be transformed, which means he's still going to be providing counterattack damage for us, right? For whatever slot we put him in. And then between all of that, for the next 3 turns, we also have the Dokkan attack coming in soon as well. I didn't glance at quite like exactly how close it was. I'm not sure if we're going to be getting it next turn or the turn after, but I imagine within the next 2 turns we will get that Dokkan attack. Yeah, probably 2 more turns. Actually, honestly, we might even finish him off before then. Just because we got so much damage still, even just to deal this turn. Oh, yeah, no, he's going to be done for sure on the next turn, because we have all the active skills to launch. Yeah, like, we might not even get to the point of actually attacking. He might just be KO'd after all the active skills. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Depends how much more damage we do this rotation. But yeah, we're definitely not going to have to resort to using items or anything like that, right? And I'm actually glad that it seems like we're going to be able to beat this in 1 shot. So we still have 1 attempt left to be able to do the last mission before the day rolls over, which in fact is probably not going to make a difference, because I think this is the last thing I'm going to be recording before I stop my recording session for the day, just because I got to go to work tonight. So yeah, I probably won't be recording until after the daily reset tomorrow anyway. Maybe I'll try and get that very last run in with the final mission for the Gifted Warriors team. That way I can get a 7th attempt in for tomorrow, just in case. Probably a good idea. We'll see. Okay, and we still are doing more counterattack damage. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, this is a free and easy GG's right here, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and transform into Vegito, transform into Gogeta. That way we can get the most amount of links active for our Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta here. We will do this active skill first, because it's going to be providing a 58% attack support to the rotation. So it's going to make our other 2 active skills hit even harder. There we go. Perfect. Buffs these guys up. Let's go for the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta active. All right. Yeah, the active alone might do it. Let's see. Let's see. And the final active skill. It would actually be really cool if we KO right here, because we'll get the that boss-ass KO screen. Let's see. Oh, not quite. Not quite. Okay. Totally fine. And then we've got the target skill mechanic there. So yeah, I guess we'll just go ahead and put Vegito up front. And that should seal the deal for us. That's going to be the KO. No doubt about it. Definitely not enough HP left on this guy to be able to handle any of this, right? He may survive. I was going to say he may survive like a counter or 2, but that's going to be about it. The super attacks definitely would have done him in. Okay, well, there we go. Obviously, the time limit team is massively buffed after the 10th anniversary, so there is, like, no struggle with that team build at all. I'm not very surprised that we were able to take that down in one attempt there. Alright, so there we go. Next mission done. We get our extra set of Easy A medals, essentially, for the support memory boost, and then we will finally finish off that support memory boost for the Power Beyond Super Saiyans category, when we get the Gifted Warriors mission done. Okay, well, that's going to go ahead and finish it up here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the links in the description below, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace!